Welcome class, it's good to see everyone here today.
Hi.
Are we ready to do some math?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, the last time that we were together, we talked about, it's a big word, the commutative principle. You don't have to remember that word. I'm just using it so that you'll be familiar with it as you hear it over the years. But it was just when we took the first two numbers of an addition problem and we switch them around and get the same answer. So we worked on these problems the other day, but just to remind you, so say we had 6 plus 2 equals what? 8. So 6 plus 2 equals 8. So the skill we worked on last time, we switched around the numbers. So if we have 2 plus 6, it still equals 8. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a whiteboard. And I'm just going to write a couple, actually before I do that, I want to show you really quick too. So say that we had 6 cubes and we added 2 more. Whoops. Get them to stay. We would have, let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's what we got up here. And then if I started, so I started with 6 and added 2. But if I had 2 and I added 6 to that, I would still have the 8. So it doesn't matter. We can switch, whenever we're doing addition, we can switch the first 2 numbers around and get the same answer. And that helps us, it's just a trick to help us since we're working on memorizing our addition and subtraction. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up an addition problem, and then I want you to switch the numbers and show me right what the equation would be, okay? So if I do 3 plus 4 equals 7, if you switch those numbers around, what would you get? Awesome. Great. Okay, let's do one more. So you showed me you got 4 plus 3. You both got that. Okay, we'll just do one more. So how about 5 plus 2 equals 7? How could you write it? Great. Okay, good job. So I can see that you still remember that. And that's important because we're going to use that in our lesson today. Okay, so I can take your whiteboards back. You won't need those anymore. Good job. Okay, so we've been working on memorizing, because one of the things we have to do in first grade is memorize our addition and our subtraction facts. And you've been doing a really good job with that. So one thing that I wanted to tell you about is that when you're working with numbers, we're going to talk about something called fact families today. So just like we're all part of a family, right? You have a family, you have a mom and a dad, maybe a brother or sister, grandparents, and you're related to each other. Well, just like you guys are related to your family, there's certain addition and subtraction problems that have numbers that are related to each other. And they're called fact families. So today, our goal, what we're going to learn about are finding fact families. Can you say that with me? Fact families. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to write a problem up on the board. Let's see. 3 plus 1 equals. What I'm going to do, since it's almost Halloween, we're going to do everything Halloween themed today. So 1, well, let me come up first, then we'll. All right, so let's count these together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can see that 3 plus 1 equals 4. So now let's use that commutative principle where we switch it around, where we switch our numbers. 1 plus 3, and let's just put these up and see So now let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We still got 4. Okay, now we're going to do something new that we haven't done yet, and this is going to show us how all these numbers are a fact family. Let's say that we did 4 minus 1. Okay? So let's put up 4. Oops. It doesn't want to say. Okay, so 4, and let's take 1 away. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3. So now I want you to notice something. You're going to kind of start to see a pattern. We had 3 plus 1 equals 4. And we just did 4 minus 1 equals 3. So can you see how the same numbers? Here a 3 and a 1 equal 4, but here if you take 1 away, you get a 3. Okay, and this makes it part of our fact family. So now let's see what happens if we take 4 minus 3. So we have 4. Let's move 3 out of the way. How many do we have left? 1. 1. All right, so just like we had 3 plus 1 equals 4, 4 minus 3 equals 1. Can you see how they're related? How you can move the numbers around, and our fact family would be 4, 3, and 1. This is a great way, doing fact families, to help us memorize our addition and our subtraction, because once we realize 3 and 1 is 4, then it's easy to think, well, then 4 minus 3 is 1, because the numbers all work together. So those are called fact families. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to practice some together. Get these out of the way. Okay, so usually we use our cubes, which are fun, but I thought since it's Halloween that we would use candy pumpkins for our counters.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do, don't touch them yet, I'll tell you what we're going to do with them. So you each have 8 candy pumpkins. And what we're going to do, first of all, there's 8 in your bag, and you can take them out and you can put them on your paper. And count them and make sure that I gave you 8. Yep. All right. Now, for our activity, we're only going to need to use 7. So I'm going to write a math problem. 8 minus 7. What is 8 minus 7? And you can use your pumpkins if you need to find out.
1.
1. You are allowed to eat 1 before we start, because we need to have 7 for activity. So you can eat 1. But I don't want you to eat any more after that, because we need them. Okay. So that's why I'm letting you eat 1 if you want, so that you won't be tempted. Okay, and you guys, we've been working a lot on, you're pretty good with your doubles, and you've all passed off your adding 1 and 2. So you're really good with those. So that's why fact families are going to help us, because the rest of addition, you're working with bigger numbers and sometimes it's tricky. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I gave you your paper that has 2 sides. I'm going to write up a problem. The first one I'm going to write up is 4 plus 3. And what I'm going to have you do is on the first side, put 4 pumpkins. And then on your second side, you have 3 pumpkins. What do you get 4 plus 3?
7.
7. Awesome. Okay. Now we're going to do that thing we do when we switch the numbers around. So we're going to have 3 plus 4. So now switch your sides around. Do 3 on one and 4 on the other. Now how many do we have? Count them up. 7. Okay, awesome. Okay, now this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep making our fact family. So we're going to take 7 minus, and we're going to use one of these numbers from our original problem. 7 minus 3. So put 7, this time you'll just put 7 all on one side. And then you're going to move 3, to take 3 away, put on the other side. Now how many do you have left on your first side?
4.
4. Awesome. Now can you see we had 4 plus 3 equals 7. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Are you kind of seeing how that's starting to work?
Because there's still 7.
Yeah, and does it make it easier to kind of remember? Because subtraction can be really tricky, but once you learn your addition, and you think, well, with a fact family, if 4 plus 3 was 7, I can do 7 minus 3 is 4, or I can do 7 minus 4 equals what?
3.
3. So, Coral, do you want to come up and circle the numbers for our fact family?
Yeah. 7, 4, and 3.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to give you a worksheet to do a couple on your own. Okay, so the next one, we're going to do 2 plus 3. So put 2 on your first side and 3 on the other side. Okay, how many? Count them, and how many do we get together?
5.
5. Okay. Who can tell me, how should we write our second equation?
3 plus 2.
Awesome, Coral. 3 plus 2. And what does that equal, Beth?
5.
5. Great. Okay, now, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do this time. Let's see if you guys remember. How will we write our subtraction problem? Who can tell me? Beth.
Put all 5 on one side and then minus 2 of them.
Awesome. So 5 minus 2 equals what?
3.
3. Great. Okay. So we can see 2 plus 3 was 5, and 5 minus 2 is 3. What would our last subtraction be? Who can tell me? Coral.
5 minus 3.
Okay, 5 minus 3 equals
2.
2. All right. Beth, do you want to come circle the numbers in our fact family? Thanks.
5, 3, 2.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, how about give me a thumbs up if you think that this will help you with your addition and subtraction. Awesome. You can do a thumbs down, but since you both did thumbs up, we're good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I need you to put your, you can eat one more pumpkin if you'd like, but the rest we need to save because I don't think your moms would like it if I let you eat all that stuff. You'll be bouncing off the walls. And then if you can put them in your cubby so that we can do the rest of our work. Okay, you guys did a great job of listening and not playing with your pumpkins. That shows me that next time it's a holiday we can use candy again, or when we just want to have fun and that you know how to follow directions. That's awesome. Okay, the last thing we're going to do, I have this little worksheet, and we'll do the first one together, but there's some witches' hats, and they have 3 numbers in them. And those are the numbers that we're going to use for our fact family. So, underneath these hats, there's 2 addition and 2 subtraction problems. So like the first one, we'll just draw a big hat, has a 9, a 6, and a 3. So those are the numbers that we're going to use. And we know that the first one is an addition problem. So the 9 will be the answer. And we have to figure out where the 6 and the 3 go. So the first one let's do together, and then I'll have you each do one of your own. Okay, so we have a 9, a 6, and a 3. And our first problem is addition. Who can tell me, how do you think we should set up our equation? Okay.
Then 3 plus 3.
Okay, so 6 plus 3 equals
9.
9. Great job. Okay, so what should we do with our second addition problem?
3 plus 6.
And will that equal the same thing?
Yes.
Great. Because all we had to do was switch those numbers around. Okay, so now we need to write our subtraction problems. So, how are we going to do that? But do we start with the smaller number or the larger number?
Biggest. Biggest.
Right, and our biggest number is
9.
9. Great. Okay, so 9, and then we can choose between.
6 or
Right. So which one should we do first?
3.
3. Okay. So 9 minus 3 equals
6.
6. All right. And then what about our last one?
9 minus 6 equals 3.
Great. Okay. So our fact family here is 9, 6, and 3. Great job. Okay, now what I want you to do is work the last 2 problems on your own, and I'll walk around and see how you're doing. And if you need help, raise your hand. And then when you're all the way done, raise your hand and I'll check it for you. You guys are doing a great job writing your numbers too. Your handwriting is so neat today. Great job. I'm gonna put a smiley face. Good job today. Okay, Beth. Great job. Did you guys think that the last one was hard with the big numbers, or was it?
Yeah.
It's a little trickier. But that's why this fact families is great, because even with big numbers, once we learn like 9 plus 5 is 14, then we can think, okay, when I'm going through like my flashcards and I see 5 plus 9, I'll remember, okay, that one's 14 too. And then for subtraction, maybe when we see that 14, we'll think,
think 5 plus 9.
yeah. So the more we practice this, the easier it will get. Great job. Okay, so to wind up, I'm just going to ask a couple of questions, and I want you to give me a thumbs up if you think it's true, and a thumbs down if it's false. So first question is, you can switch around the first 2 numbers in an addition problem and get the same answer. Good job. Awesome. Okay. So today we made fact families to help us learn our addition and subtraction better. Awesome. Okay. So if 7 minus 4 equals 3, then 7 minus 4 equals 3, then 7 minus 3 equals 4. Good job. Mrs. Anderson's math class is fun.
Mrs. Anderson's math class is fun.
Awesome. Okay, good job.